Good morning. Good morning. It is morning, by the way. Start up. Alright, it is morning. Hello, everybody. It is one of our dark mornings that we have. The rain has arrived, and it is very dark outside. So I was procrastinating just a little bit, but I do gotta get on with our daily message today. And hopefully we do have time for 2nd Chronicles after this. Alright, without further ado, let's begin with the Qur'an. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Okay, great. This is Surah 40, Al-Mumin, which means the believer. And this is line 82. This is at the very end of the Surah, almost the last line, just a few lines before the end of this. Surah 40. We have here Al-Mumin. And this translates to the believer. And then we have line 42. Or excuse me, 82. Line 82. And it reads, "Do they not travel through the earth and see what was the end of those before them? They were more numerous than these and superior in strength, and in the traces they have left in the land. Yet all that they accomplished was of no profit to them." So it's beginning a little bit of a mystery to me. So we may have to read some context to go ahead and discover what we would be discussing here today. I'm going to try to type as efficiently as I can. So, I appreciate the patience this morning. Ooh, I have a little kitten attacking my leg. Sorry with my faces. I have some wildlings out and about. Okay, so what I'll do, because we are bringing about a bit of a mystery, we're going to just read section 9 of Al-Mumin in full. So a few lines, including the one that we had just read. Hey mama. Honey. They're being very rambunctious. They're getting their nerves just as everybody else. Alright, let's read. Starting with line 79. Hi, Mama. "It is Allah who made cattle for you, that ye may use some for riding and some for food. And there are other advantages in them for you, besides, that ye may through them attain to any need there may be in your hearts. And on them and on ships ye are carried. and he shows you always his signs. Then which of the signs of Allah will ye deny? Do they not travel through the earth and see what was the end of those before them? They were more numerous than these and superior in strength, and in the traces they have left in the land. Yet all they accomplished was of no profit to them. For when their messengers came to them with clear signs, they exulted in such knowledge and skill as they had. But that very wrath at which they were wont to scoff hemmed them in. But when they said, "We believe in Allah, the one God, and we reject the partners who used to join with him," but their professing the faith when they actually saw our punishment was not going to profit them. Such has been Allah's way of dealing with his servants from the most ancient times, and even thus did the rejectors of Allah perish utterly. Okay. Alright. So we have a little bit more of an understanding of the context. This section here in Al-Mumin is letting us know that the Lord doth provide for us. He doth provide for us, and in that alone are the small, in that small sign alone should be enough to convince us of his goodness and his greatness and his kindness. It's easy for those who do not truly understand and truly believe to go ahead and attribute things like livestock and grain, right? Things that are naturally occurring in the earth. It's easy for those who do not fully believe to attribute that cultivation of things that help us eat and drink and take care of us, natural things. It's easy to contribute that to man. And I'll leave it at that. It's easy for them to contribute the cultivation of those things to the greatness of man and our wise skills, right? Our wise skills and our self-reliance, things like that. It's easy to attribute these things that we still practice today. We still have farmland and things like that we cultivate to go ahead and provide food for the earth. But it started out in the hands of God, and it always remained in the hands of God, no matter how much man did, how do I even say this? No matter how much man feels that he invented the cultivation practices or livestock rearing, things like that, the wisdom itself came from somewhere. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I suppose, we would be, just trying to go back to the beginning, even at the very beginning. How did we know, right, that certain fruits and certain foods were able to be eaten, right? It's just there's a certain wisdom, and there's many attributions, if not all attributions, should be revered as God providing for us. Whether he provides us, well, he does, right? He provides us the actual subject and the object for us to remain healthy. The means of survival, he provides that for us. Not only that, he provides the wisdom and the access to know that that would in turn promote our survival on earth. So it's just, bringing you back at the very beginning of this section. It's bringing you back even the small things that we take for granted. Allah provides, and Allah makes sure that we are aware that we can sustain life with certain things, the things that we normally would think it's our own understanding and our own wisdom. This doesn't just apply to what it's talking about here, it applies to everything that life entails. He shows you all his signs. So it says, and he shows you always his signs, not just this. then which of the signs will ye deny? So if you can deny that most simple fact, then everything that comes after that, big or small, will also be denied. And it's saying, do they, right? He's talking about the unbelievers. Do they travel through the earth and see what was the end of those before them? They were more numerous than these, and superior in strength, and in the traces they have left in the land. Yet all that they accomplished was of no profit to them, which makes sense. And it's interesting because in this line, a group of people is being referred to as these, not this group of people, these groups of people. Okay, just further reminding us that we are subjects of Allah. We are His belongings. I know this is a little bit of a stretch, but just reminding us that we belong to Allah in terms of our souls, okay? We belong to Him, and it's always going back to remember that. No matter what we accomplish, no matter what we think that we create under the guise of man, it's of no profit, right? That's why we tailor our purpose all to go towards Allah. It is His accomplishment because we belong to Him. We are quite literally His items, His belongings. Okay, we are His. It's not coming to me, but we are His belongings. Okay, we are His belongings. So everything that we would create with our own hands also belongs to Allah. Just a reminder to always attribute going back to Allah, not only the things He provides to us to keep us alive and to keep us well, to keep us healthy, but also the things that we may create to better the lives of others really belongs to Allah as well. Because it says here, when their messengers came to them with clear signs, they exulted in such knowledge and skill as they had, right? They exalted themselves with their knowledge and the skill that they had. They did have this knowledge and skill, right? We do have brains to go ahead and exercise this, sorry with my words, but we do have brains to exercise knowledge and skill. But that very wrath at which they were wont to scoff hemmed them in. So it's almost as we believe more in ourselves than we do of the wisdom, the vast wisdom, greater wisdom than we could ever conjure. We believe in ourselves further than we would believe in God, right? We ignore God's signs, but if it's something that we can do and we can understand, all of a sudden it belongs to us. It belongs to us. We did this, we created this, we had the help of no God. So this is really what this is saying. We attribute the work of our hands, our physical hands, to ourselves. We attribute the interworkings and the wisdom of our minds to ourselves. And quite frankly, this is what it's saying here. It's not the right way to be. It's not the right way to be. But when they saw our punishment, they said, we believe in Allah. Only when you see the punishment, only when you are scared, only when you worry about the outcome and the end of your life, essentially, the end of your life. Sorry. Only when you worry about the end of your life. Giggling is inappropriate, I'm sorry, but then you start to realize, oh yes, I do believe in God. Because where do we go after all is said and done? We will return to Him again. We'll have to answer to Him again. He's going to look at your deeds, and you might feel this sense of pride. You might feel this sense of, oh, Allah should be proud of me. He should be impressed with me. But, what did you use, your knowledge and your skills for, right? And how did you attribute your knowledge and your skills? Okay, what did you attribute? You know what I'm trying to say, I hope. Attributing. Should probably finish this thought. I'm just a little, it's a little bit of an interesting setting for me this morning, you guys. I'm like leaning back on the wall. It's dark and gloomy and scary. Attributing knowledge. Alright, I will just leave it at this. If you die with the mindset, I know I hate to be talking all doom and gloom and death, but this is really what this is saying, right? When you face a punishment, it doesn't even have to be death. If you face a punishment, a downfall, right, bad karma, things like that, when you face that, and you had this mindset all along, like, it's me, it's all about me, or I did this for myself, I did this for myself, I did this for others, I did this for myself, I did this for others, and then it finally comes down to the punishment, and there's that confusion as to why, or death takes place and you meet with Allah, it feels like it's rendered pointless. It does, and it's a little bit of a hard thing to grasp, that concept of, you know, accomplishing so much, but having no real purpose attached to it, or having no real motive, a true motive attached to it. On the flip, if you're doing things through Allah, with the full knowing in the back of your mind that it is all by the hand of Allah that you are even living and breathing and thinking and maneuvering throughout the world, then your actions actually start to become a little bit different. And the way you go about life takes more of an effect and leaves actually more of an impression, a deeper spiritual impression that is hard to explain, it's hard to visualize, but it's because you're connecting your spiritual dots, your mental dots, and you're leaving just, all I can say is just a real lasting impression, true change, not so much physical, or what was I going to say, true change, not just surface level, right? Surface level change, you know, visual change, you could say it like that, visual change. There was a better word that I had for it, but I apologize. I don't have it right now. Attributing knowledge and skills to Allah. Of course, we like to take some credit. I do think, you know, where there is credit due, there is credit. And that is the beauty of conversing. We talked a little bit about this as well. Conversing with Allah, having that connection. He will give you your credit when it's due, and He'll let you know right away. And then once He gives you the credit, the reward is coming. You know that there's a reward in this life and the next as well. He'll give you your credit, and you'll be aware of your credit, and that becomes the only validation and the only certificate that you'd need. Again, because it's a spiritual thing, it's a mental thing that takes place when doing your thoughts and actions and living your life with the knowledge of, I'll just leave it at that, with the knowledge of Allah, and knowing it's because of Him that you're doing everything else. Because without that, we talked about, you know, how to find the purpose. How to find the purpose. This is, you know, just having the knowledge of Him, attributing your knowledge and skills to Allah. You will discover your purpose, and it will just, you know, fall into little places here and there. Things will start to line up here and there. But, you know, just live your life as you normally would, and you make a bigger impact than you would think just by living that way, even if you're not doing much, even if you're just going to work, sitting around, that sort of thing, like I often do. But yes, it will become clear. This one was a little bit hard to go ahead and analyze and explain to you in a way that I can understand and can explain it. I'll just touch on this one more time, they were more numerous than these and more superior in strength. So even the people before us who didn't understand, right, they were greater. They were more numerous. They did greater feats, impossible feats. They accomplished a lot. Like, I keep thinking of like our oh goodness, our steel. I keep thinking like steel age, our age when we had like the factories just coming about in America. I can't believe I'm forgetting what that timing was. When we were just really, I'm going to use the word innovating. We were really innovating and we were really inventing. We were building up a lot of industry. I don't know what. Industrial. There we go. Industrial revolution. Where was I going with that? Right? They were doing a lot, right? They were doing a lot for the future of our nation. And not to say that, you know, it didn't leave an impact and it's all to waste. No, not necessarily. It says here that in the traces they have left in the land. Yet all that they individually had accomplished was of no profit to them, right? It was really of no profit to them. It helps us out that we have all of this industry here in America today. But it says here, and that they accomplished. They accomplished. And if they're absorbing it all into themselves, like, oh, it's me, I did this. When you answer to Allah, He'd be like, where was I the whole time? And then, of course, they're going to say, oh, well, you were there all along. You know, you were helping me, you were guiding me, you were giving me knowledge and wisdom. And then Allah was like, I have no record of you thinking that. I have no record of you displaying that for others. I have no record of, hey, sorry, Air Force, stop it. I have no record of, Allah will tell you, right? And you will become aware. You're like, oh, right, I didn't really, you know, think to even talk to you or ask you about certain things. And it's a kind of an embarrassing moment because it's like, oh, well, I did all this. And Allah was like, yep, I know, I was there as well. But, you know, you paid me no mind. You just did what you were doing mysteriously with wisdom, right? So I'll leave you at this. I talked way through the time that I have. 9:40. It's crazy. I talked all that time and I still actually have some time for Chronicles. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's get into it. I'll be right back. I'm gonna quiet these animals. Alright, thanks guys. I'll be right back.